Okay, there we go. So let's begin. Today we're going to talk about viruses. What is the other word for virus? Does anyone know? Bingdu. Yes. Now, basically, another word for virus is called malware. Okay? Malware is anything unwanted on your computer. Okay? And there's so many type of malware. Malware are malicious software. Malicious means it's harmful. It's bad. Okay? That has intentions of causing harm to your system and contents. Sometimes they add things to spy and they record your Mima when you type. It's called a sniffer. They have a sniffer that actually reads your keyboard and then Mima. They also have adware. It's spam. It goes with through the email. Sometimes you have advertisements, right? Sometimes they have spyware. They have ransomware. Have you ever heard of ransomware there, Floss? Ransomware? Did you think so? Ransomware is, what happens is they lock your computer and have a mima, and they say, you cannot 打开你的电脑 unless you 打我钱. If you give me money, then I will 打开 your 电脑. And this is called ransom. They lock your system, and it says, you have 24 hours to pay the money. This is like the olden days when they would, steal, kidnap someone. They kidnap your child and they say, give me the money and then I'll give your child back. It's the same idea. It's ransom, right? We have worms. We have Trojan horses. We have botnets, yohando. Okay? So we're going to watch a quick okay, about the different types of bingdu. Okay? And what is the other word for virus? Malware. It's called malware. Did you write that in your notebook? Malware is malicious software to this yohando. Okay? So today we're going to talk about that. Okay, let's have a look at this video. What is malware?
Viruses, worms, Trojans, and bots are all part of a class of software called malware. The overwhelming majority of malware is created to make money illegally, often by stealing sensitive and confidential information from victims' computers and mobile devices. Malware can also be used for cyber vandalism, cyber espionage, hacktivism, cyber warfare, and various other reasons. Malware can make entry onto your computer via questionable file downloads, visiting infected websites, or through email containing a seemingly benign link or attachment. Common types of malware. Viruses. Almost all viruses are attached to an executable file, which means the virus may exist on a system but will not spread until a user opens the infected program. Viruses often originate on the internet and spread when downloading a file infected with a virus, peer-to-peer file sharing, or email attachment. Trojan. A Trojan is a harmful piece of software that looks legitimate. Users are typically tricked into leading and executing it on their systems. Trojans can not only steal your sensitive data, they can also give cyber crooks access to your system. Trojans are employed to gain access to your computer's financial and personal information. Ransomware. Ransomware holds your PC hostage and demands money. It locks up your computer, threatening to destroy data, demanding ransom or a payment for release of your data, files, or to regain the ability to use your computer again. Spyware. Spyware secretly gathers private information about the user activity, such as internet usage, and logs keystrokes via the process of keylogging to steal passwords and other sensitive data. Worms. Worms can replicate themselves and infect multiple computers on a network, causing major damage. Network worms often use computer networks to spread, slowing down traffic and relying on security failures such as outdated operating systems and no antivirus programs installed. In contrast, viruses require the spreading of an infected host file. Worms are a standalone software and do not require a host or human help to spread. The best way to protect your system from malware is to keep your operating system clean by downloading regular patches, updates, and making sure that your computer is protected by the latest antivirus software from a trusted vendor.
Okay. What is a worm, Wendy? What is worm?
A worm?
Yeah, what is a worm? So we have the 病毒, right? We have the virus, and then we have malware, and then there's a thing called like worm.
It's like a file or a packet that hides in a randomly placed in a device.
Okay, hides on computer. It does not need another file, okay? It doesn't, it's not an executable file. Viruses are a harmful file. Usually they're exe. They're a runnable file. Have you heard about exe? Exe means executable, like install. 如果你保存 and then you install, it's an executable file. It's called a...
So can I use the malware to steal someone else's name and their
Yes.
where are they living?
So that is called spyware. Spyware. Spyware is a software that steals the info. Okay? So you should know what is a Trojan? Do you know in Troy,我们有一个历史 there, Wendy. Have you ever saw the 小电影? 他们有木头的马 and they put the 木头的马 inside the castle. Have you heard about this? 很久以前. In Greece, maybe? There's Greek history. There was this wooden horse, and 然后他们 put the army men inside the 马 and then they say, oh, 我们不打架, this is 我们送给你. And they're like, oh, 我们赢了. And they bring the 马 into the castle. 你听过这个故事吗? And then later, 他们睡觉的时候, the army come out of the wooden horse. And then they win. This is called Trojan. Okay? So, 你写 Trojan 是看起来是好的事. It looks like a good program. It looks good. It looks real. But inside has the malware. Inside has the malware. Okay? So this is like to PM someone. It looks like, oh, this is
money.
No. It looks like you look like you have a file, and it looks like this is Teams. It had the E on the blue man, right? 但是不是 Teams. 你点点 and it's a virus. This is called Trojan. It's when I candy. It looks like a real Teams file, for example, but it's not 是假的. That's called a Trojan. A Trojan horse is 看起来是真的，但是是假的. Okay? Trojan. So there are many different types of malware. Malware includes viruses, worms, Trojans, things like this. How can I protect myself? What is this there, Floss? Do you know what a firewall is? What is a firewall? Yeah, firewall is to protect me usually from the internet. Okay? So what happens is we have the internet. 对不对? This is the internet. 然后这个是我的电脑. What happens is firewalls are to protect me from outside. 对不对? Firewalls are to protect me from bad things from the internet. So how does it work? The internet you have different ports that go into your PC. We have this thing called ports. Ports are like IP address, IPDJ, right? And we only allow certain data in here. The firewall will look at the data. The data on the internet is called what, Wendy? The data on the internet is 叫什么? The data that comes from the internet 叫什么? Starts with a P.
Data.
The data on the internet is called a?
Packet.
Called a packet, okay? Firewalls look at the packet and scan it if it has any bindu, if it has any virus, if it has any malware, okay? You click it.
Spread.
The firewall is a program, 是一个 program that monitors packets. It monitors internet packets for any bindu. Does your computer have a firewall? You can Google the control settings and 写 firewall, 然后你有. You can 打开, you can turn on and off the firewall. There's a setting. You can 开 and then 关. If, to be safe, you want to make sure, if you go into the control panel on your computer, I can actually show you. Let's see if I have my firewall open. I don't know if I do. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. Okay, how do I minimize this? 我们看一下. Right here, if I go onto search and I go firewall, look, it says Windows Defender Firewall Control Panel, and it has the wall here. Firewall is to protect me from 外面, outside, not inside, okay? Right here. Do I have my firewall on there, Wendy? Do I have my firewall on this computer? 有没有?
Yes.
Yes, you can see private networks, the Windows firewall is on. Can I turn this off? I can, right here. It says turn Windows Defender on or off. I can turn off. Should I turn off there, Ched?
No.
No, because if I go on the internet and I don't have the firewall, I can easy to get the harmful malware or something like that. Cool? All right. Okay. 我们继续. So firewall, make sure you have that. What is a virus? What is a virus? Ched,
No.
can you read it? What is a virus try to do?
Tries to replace the code itself inside other executable code.
Okay, a virus is usually an exe floss. What is an exe file? Yeah, executable means it's like install file. It's like a install file. It can, this way, install file. Man, can't spell today. It's an install file or a run file. Okay? Everyone understand what a virus is? It's a software that when you open it, what does it do is it copies, 复制, and then later 我的电脑是卡住了 or what have you. Okay? Or it runs some other programs in there. How can I find the virus? Wendy, how can I find if my computer has virus? What are some signs? How can I know if my computer has a virus? How can I know? What are some signs of virus? Does your computer have a bindu?
No.
How do you know? Does your computer? 你怎么知道?
We check the application.
Yes. What we can do, you can look at the files. that are run, the application file. If my RAM is running at 100%, it's probably maybe has some bindu. If my computer is slow, 如果是 slow, this could be a sign that I have a virus. Agree or disagree, right? Maybe some programs are not working. Programs not working. Maybe the virus has deleted something. Maybe something got deleted. Okay? This is all signs that you have DNL Bingdu. Okay? Or also the PC speed. The PC speed. If your PC speed is very high, it's running fast, or your computer is getting really hot, these are all signs. Okay? How do I get rid of the Bingdu? How do I get rid of him? How do I get remove him from my computer? 怎么做? How do I get rid of the Bingdu from my 电脑? 如果我电脑有 Bingdu, what do I do?
Use a firewall.
不是, so firewall.
Antivirus.
Yeah, firewall is not to remove. Firewall is to stop me from getting. It's protection. Agree or disagree? So firewall does not remove virus, 对不对? Floss, how to get rid of? 如果我已经有一个病毒, I have a virus. How do I get the virus away? How do I get the virus off? Yes, very good. There's a good idea. Anytime I get a virus, there's a cheap way. You can buy, or you can get a software, okay? You can buy this thing called antivirus software. Okay? Antivirus software can scan and remove the bindu. But some virus is 新的, some virus is new. 然后那个原件看不见那个病毒，因为它是 new virus. And so there's a cheaper solution that Floss said. What you can do is reset your computer. What you can do is just delete everything off your computer and restart it again. But you have to make sure that you back up your files before doing that. You can reset your PC. That means that everything's going to be deleted. What is the other thing for reset? It's called format. Do you know what format means? There, Wendy? If you format your computer, what does that mean?
Just like, it's similar as reset.
Yeah, it means that you're going to wipe everything, but you're going to have, if you format, you have to re-download. You should re-download your OS system. If you reset, you don't need to reinstall because the operating system will have some virus get into your operating system. If that's the case, you should do a full format. Canada? Sometimes even resetting your PC, you have an OS 有病毒. And even doing a reset, 它还在. And so format is like clean, wipe the hard drive, all gone. And then you reinstall the OS system, reinstall all the packages.
Is format APP?
Format is not, it means to delete all files. It's pusher APP. It's an action. It means to delete or clean your hard drive. Okay? Yeah. So that's how one way we can get rid of the Bingdu. Okay? I've done that. Usually I just reset my PC, but sometimes you have to do a full format. There's this thing called full format, and then it will delete everything. Okay. Spyware. Floss, what is spyware? Yes, it's used to steal your information. And on the keyboard, I can steal your mima. What is that called? When I copy the keys you put. Do you know what it's called? Wendy? If I want to steal your password, what software can steal my password that records all the keys I push on the computer? Can you use your computer? Google. Is it a keylogger? Keylogger. A keylogger, okay? What this does is it copies all the things 你写 on the 电脑。然后 later you look at and use the algorithm and you can 它写什么东西 that looks like a mima. And then they can get your stuff. It's called keylogger, 对不对?
Yeah.
Okay, a keylogger, it copies your keystrokes. Okay, now spyware also steals things like your cookies. Bingan. Chad, have you heard about the bingan? Bingan, pusher bingan. What is the bingan on your 电脑? Does your 电脑有没有 bingan?
没有。
有.
Why?
What is a cookie? Floss, have you heard about a cookie? 对. What is a cookie? When I go on the 网站, on a web page, it's 这个 bingan 不是 bingan. What the bingan is, it store the history. 举个例子, your history is a bingan. Okay? You know the history of 你去哪里? 什么网站? Can you, on a web page, you can see what web page you went to, the history, 对不对? This is called a persistent cookie. And internet companies can use that to steal your information. They can see 你喜欢什么东西, right? What do you like and things like that. Where do you go? That's called spyware. 他们托 your name, your address, 你喜欢看什么东西, the shipping, everything. Anything that they steal information, that's called that. Okay, hacker.
People.
Who's hacker?
Try to hack into your system.
Hacker is the people, right?
Yes.
And they try there are two type of hacker. Tell me the two type of hacker, Wendy. We have good hacker and we have bad hacker. We have bad hacker and good. What is a good hacker called?
White hat.
Yeah. Good hackers are called white hat. 他帽子是白色. We call them good hacker. And they hack the bad guy. They hack the bad guy, right? And they try to, there's banks that hire hackers that try to hack their own system to make it more accurate. Those are called white hacker. And then the bad ones called what?
Black hat?
Yeah, black hat. Black hat. Black hat hacker are the bad guy who try to hack your computer to steal your passwords and all that other stuff. Okay? Now, hackers 用不一样的想法. One way is called brute force attack. You need to know, 你可以写, Ted, 你可以写. Brute force attack is use the random guesses and password word banks to try to crack your mima. Okay? That's called brute force. 他们不知道你的密码，他们试很多次。Okay? So make sure you understand what brute force is. You have a mima, and then it uses an algorithm and word bank. Word banks is there's a list of common passwords. Like Jubileeze, it'll try password 123. Many people use a password called password, 对不对? And so they have a whole bunch of common passwords that people use in the world, and 他们试一下。It takes a long time, but maybe 1 day, 2 days, they can get your mima. Okay? Okay. 第二个 DOS attack. DOS attack is an attack on the server. Okay? What happens is we have a server, and then we have a whole bunch of attacks to the server to make the server become slow. Okay? And so this is a server, and then we have a whole bunch of DDS computers that are trying to log into the server and then the system crashed down. Okay? The DDoS, it tries to overload a server. Okay? And then that means that we cannot use it. Keyloggers, again, we talked about keyloggers. Keyloggers, they 保存所有的 keys that you type into the computer, and then I can get your mima. Okay? So these are just some of the things that hackers do to crack your mima. There's also other thing that hackers do is called social engineering. Have you heard about this? Social engineering. Social engineering is when I 打电话 to a school and say, oh, I am the president of Nanjing. I need to know your mima. This is called social engineering. Is 我骗你，然后你给我的密码。Social engineering is when the hackers, they talk and trick you. Trick you to give info. And so you say, oh, hello, my name is Bill Gates, or hello, my name is Che. I need help. I forgot my password. Can you help me? And then this is called social engineering, and that is part of hackers too. That does exist, the social engineering. Okay. Now, one way that hackers get into your system is they use email, and we call this thing called phishing. This is it's not F, it's PH. What is the difference between PH and phishing? You know what 钓鱼 means, right? It's where you have a hook and you try to get a fish, right? We all know what 钓鱼 means, right? To go fish. But phishing, the idea is it's different. Tell me the difference. Have you heard about phishing before their floss? 听说? What does phishing mean? They're not going 钓鱼. What are they fishing? How do they do it? Fishing 我们用一个 hook, 对不对? 但是 phishing, what do they give to try to steal your information? Do you know? 怎么 fish?
Maybe they give you a WhatsApp and let you to click it.
Yes. Usually what they give is 一个 email.
I mean, send a WeChat to you.
And as Floss said, they give you a URL. They give you a fake link. And then you click it, and then you share your names and your mima and stuff like that. Okay? So what is phishing email? Phishing email is when they trick you by email. They said, hello, your account has expired. Please 点那个 link so that you can reactivate your account. 但是这个 email 是假的 but 看起来是真的. Okay, it looks real, but it's fake. And then when you click and you send your details, the information went to the hacker. It didn't go to the real person. Okay? So this can happen through email. It can be, for example, your bank. 你的银行, right? Oh, 对不起, you get some money. You need to 再写你的 email. 还是你又have送一个快递. 快递呀骗你, right? There's some fake 快递 place. They say, oh, you have a package. 但是我忘了 what's your 电话号码, 对不对? 对，有的很多. You have to be careful. 还是 you have a Jada web page. You have a Jada web page, right? And then I look like a 银行, but 但是不是一个银行. Okay? That's called phishing. Okay? How does it work? Phishers send out hundreds of thousands of email. 打很多人. Most people 看那个是假的. 他们都they understand 是假的. 但是有的 some people hook and they click the link. Boop. Okay? They say about 5% are conned. So 他们发很多的 email and then 5% 他们抓他们的钱. Okay? So it doesn't trick everyone, but it does trick some people. How do I know? This is Jugalese. Have you ever seen phishing email? Look at this. Halifax Bank PLC. No reply, home that. Add contact. Okay, it says, hi, we're just checking. This is the right email. What's your email, right? Soon your email address will become your username to access Halifax account. That makes it easier than remembering yet another username. If this is the email you want us to use, all you have to do is click this little link and we'll be happy to blah, blah, blah. This is fake. This is called phishing. Phishing. Now, how do I know that this is phishing? What are some signs that this is a phishing email? They're checked. 我怎么知道 that this is a fake email? What are some signs to be able to determine if this is fake?
Like
这个邮件看着是真的 or 假的? And how do you know?
I have a
What is missing from this email? Or what did they put?
like their who are they? Their company.
Halifax Banks 应该是一个真的银行。Halifax Bank 应该是对的，这个名字是对。但是 what is 不对 ？What looks 假的
Email or the website.
？Look, if this is a agenda account, what is this right here? Their flaws. What is this? If this is a agenda 人 what will they do? Yeah, there's no picture. There's no pic. That is one sign. If this is legitimate, why is it blank? Wendy, I want you to look. Does this link look gender data? And how do you know? I want you to look at this. Does this link look real or fake? And how do you know? Tell me what is wrong with the link.
Fake. Well, I think if it is a real link, I think maybe the path is not like very strange and a mess. It maybe has a clear information like
Yes.
account, something like that.
This looks fake, as Wendy says. It has a lot of rubbish data, right? Normally, a bank will not give a link that looks like this. Theirs will be more kanji, okay? This has some, I don't know what this is. I don't know where this is going. It doesn't look clean. Other thing that it looks like is my Halifax. Maybe because you can't really buy the domain name. Check the domain name. Because, for example, Bank of China, www.bankofchina.cn. Wendy, have a look here. Bank of China, they already buy. And so, can I make two domain names with the same name? Can I make a Jada www.bankofchina.cn? 不可以. On the internet, you can only have one domain name, 对不对? So what they do is they're going to change because 这个已经卖过了. And so the hacker is going to buy another domain, maybe they say mybankofchina.cn, 对不对? And so what they do is they buy a domain name that is 有点像，但是不一样的. And so when you're looking at this URL, you can see it says my.halifax. Why did they put the my? It's because 他们买不到那个银行的网站的 name server, 对不对? It's because 他们 the bank have 很多钱，他们已经买多了. And so the hacker is going to buy a domain name that is similar to the domain, but it cannot be 一模一样. That's impossible. You can only have one website name that link to it. Okay? What is some other thing? 还有什么问题? Wendy, what is some other problem for this? When you're looking through the 邮件, what else can you determine this is 假的?
I think if this is a real email, the name at the bottom will be the real name of the operator.
对. There's no who. 谁? Who is writing this? 没有名字 because他们不想给你的名字 because they're a hacker. 对不对? Sometimes they put a Jada name. Also, you can double check the spelling. Because lots of hacker come from other country, 对不对? And 他们不会听英文. Right? Maybe they're in India. And there's lots of scammers in India, 对不对? So you can check the spelling and grammar. Okay? And those are all signs that it's Jada. This is called phishing. So again, here's a look. Look at the greeting. The phishers don't know your name. 他们不知道你的名字. So if they don't say your name, 有可能他们是假的. Because if they are a real bank, 他们一定知道你的名字. So 如果他们不知道你的名字, if they 打电话 say, what's my name? 如果他们不知道你的 name, 他们是假的. Okay? Check their name. Check the sender's address. Okay?
Like where?
In the 邮件. The forged link, does the link look genuine or does it look fake? Okay? Do they ask for personal information like passwords or bank account number? Does it send everything? They say, you need to give the thing in 24个小时. If they give the 时间, 应该他们是假的. Okay? They want to make it sound urgent. Do they have poor spelling or grammar? Lots of time, these emails come from countries where English is not their native language. 对不对? These are all signs about to what to look for. Okay? Okay, 第二个, can you copy this? This is a booyah attack. So one is called phishing, this is called farming. This is like noming. Do you know what the noming is? 有点像 farming, 但是不是游民. Wendy, what is farming? We don't call it farming, we call it farming. P-H-A-R-M-I-N-G. What is farming? What does the farming mean in English?
Like you are.
What do farmers do? The noming.
Grow plants.
Yeah, farmers grow plants. 对不对? So, farming attack 有点像 farming, 但是 it's to do with that. Okay? So farming, instead of using a phony link in an email, farming redirects the visitors to a bogus web address. Okay, so farming is 这样子. They give you a 邮件, 然后 this URL says, oh, it's bankofchina.cn, 但是他们 use我的 Bank of China, right? And then they go to a Jada web page, fake website. This is called farming, okay? It redirects the link to a Jada网站. Okay, can you write this down? Farming, it is a fake link to fake网站. Okay, can you write that down? Make sure you understand what is phishing. Phishing is 加了 email to 骗你写你的密码 or something like that. Farming 是 a link that goes to a fake web page.
So how do you write phishing?
Phishing is PHISHING.
Give you a
And farming is PHARMING.
What is phishing again? Give you an email.
这个是加的 email to get your info. Farming is fake link to, okay? Yeah.
Fake link.
Yeah. How do I know how can I protect myself from farming? What are some things that you can look at the link to know if it's fake link? We already talked a little bit about this, but what can you do? How do you know 是真的还是假的?
Check the password.
Yes. You can look, where is it going? What are some other things? So, what is this right here?
The protocol.
Check the protocol. If it has S, it's more 安全. If 没有 S. If it's a bank and it doesn't have an S, do not click it. Banks should be encrypted, 对不对? You need to have encryption. So double check here because all 邮件 has a protocol, HTTP // then is the name of your website, the domain name. Check right here. If it 没有 S, 应该有可能是假的. Okay, what else? Double check the spelling of the link. 他们有没有拼错 the name, right? Your ISP also helps out to filter out the bad attacks, okay? Because make sure you have antivirus software. These are also can help to stop the farming, okay? So just double check that. Trojan, 这个嘛干什么? They're floss. What is a Trojan?你听说这个故事 about the 木头的吗? Have you heard about the story?
What you said before.
Yeah. Trojan horse it looks good, but it's fake. Okay? They offer something tempting to look at, for example, a video, funny video or link, and then when you open it, it installs a virus. So Trojan, this means how can? It looks nice. And then Wendy, the story the Trojan horse. What was inside the horse in the 故事?
The soldiers.
Yes, 在里面 it had a whole bunch. In Troy, they have a whole bunch of how to say soldiers. They're plus. 张主任, how to say the army or soldier?
You mean in Chinese?
Yeah.
士兵.
士兵. So 看起来在外面是好的嘛，但是在里面有那个 soldier. So this is一个故事 called in Troy. They had this thing called Trojan horse. So what you have to remember, Trojan horse, it looks good, but inside, it's actually fake. Okay, that's just what it means by Trojan. Okay? Your schoolwork. Okay, so that's the end of the PPT. End of the lesson. I want you to 做一个 PPT. How to protect yourself from malware. How to protect yourself from phishing.
Okay.
How to protect yourself from farming.
Let me try.
Okay? I want every one of you to 做一个 PPT. How to make yourself 安全. Okay? So that's your schoolwork.
Let me try.
When's the deadline, Mr. Busy?
We should be able to finish. Make it schoolwork, okay?
I mean the deadline of the PPT.
今天在课上 right? 我们有几分钟 We have 45分钟 So you finish, okay? No problem. Just 4 slides. How to protect